Hello and welcome back to Gundam HQ. Okay, so today we have a really interesting topic on a controversial game called Gundam Extreme vs. Force. Now for those of you who have not yet heard of it, I suggest you go watch the original Gundam Extreme vs. Force announcement trailer first. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, and I'll be playing it in the background here as well. Now, the reason this game is so controversial is not because it is a bad game, not because it's simply only on the Vita, but instead because it is a focus on more of a single-player experience. Now, this is very different from what we've got with Gundam Extreme Gundam Extreme vs. Full Boost, and Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost, because those titles are all about competitive play against other people, while also providing some of a single-player experience. But this one is literally all single-player, except for some ad hoc, I believe it's called, online play, which means that you have to be practically right next to the person you're going to be playing with. Now, because of these reasons, a lot of people would tell you, hey, you should just skip this title, just wait for Maxi Boost to be ported onto the PS3 or PS4 or whatever console it ends up coming to. But I think that you should actually pick this one up if you happen to have a Vita or a PS TV on you. Because these titles, like this title, I can see myself having a lot of fun with it, because obviously it's still got some of the basic stuff from Gundam Extreme vs. the other titles, but it's also got a decent focus on story missions, as it looks in this trailer. And I think that's pretty exciting, because I've been wanting some story missions in a Gundam Extreme vs. title for quite some time now. So I actually think that that is something I can really look forward to. On top of this, it also shows some 6-person teamwork type stuff going on. Of course, you'll only be controlling your own team, I believe, because this game is not online, as I was saying earlier. But it seems as though you'll be able to pick your team, build them up, and use them as you see fit, ordering them around the map, capturing different points, and I think that is really cool, and I can't wait to use that as well. But one strange thing about this is that if you look closely, you'll see that there is no burst bar. The burst bar is something that has been a really big deal in all of the other titles in the series, and it's just gone. And instead of that, if you notice in the top left-hand corner, you'll see something called Force Level. Now, we have no idea what this does, but it's there, and I assume it has something to do with replacing the burst meter, and I'm excited to see what they end up doing with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to prefer it over the burst bar from the standard games, but we'll just have to wait and see. Something else you might notice is missing is different ammunition for some of the suits, because some suits, such as the High Nu, they have charge shots, and charge shots are completely gone from what I've noticed. And then on top of this, different suits are missing different weapons entirely, and that's too bad. I'm not sure what their goal is with that. I'm not sure if they're going to re-implement them into something else, like make them some other combination weapon or something. I'm not sure. I'm just blabbering on here. But it's kind of strange that they took them out. I can understand why, because it is the PS Vita. This is no longer a PS3. There are limitations to the console. I get that much. But I'm trusting in them, and I'm hoping that everything will remain balanced and so on, and that nothing will be thrown off, because unbalanced games can be kind of dumb. Unless you like the suit that is overpowered, then I guess you're sitting on the high chair there. But anyways, in more exciting news, the Southeast Asia version of this game is going to be released with English in it, and that is incredible. It's not going to be fully westernized, but just in that Southeast Asia version, like I mentioned. But it's really exciting to hear that, because this will be the first Gundam Extreme vs. title that we'll ever have that is in English entirely. And that's something to be excited for. And it's going to make the whole experience a whole lot easier, because this game seems a little more complicated than the past Gundam Extreme vs. titles. So it's going to be nice to actually have everything translated, so I won't need to worry about memorizing all the menus, because that can be a little bit of a bother when picking up a Japanese game. As for new suits in this game, we only have one that is guaranteed to be in, and that is G Self from Reconquista and G. And we have an image of that right here. It is shown fighting earlier in the trailer, and it will be shown right after this too, but I just wanted to point this out. It is a 2.5K. That's something nice to know, because the 2.5K pool has always been kind of cool to me, because it doesn't cost too much like 3000s, and it's not a little lower like 2000s. It's the perfect mix, perfect amount of damage, perfect amount of health, and so on, in most cases anyways. And there's one other new mobile suit that has been announced, possible for you to have, but it is not. You're not definitely going to get it in the game, which kind of makes me sad. And that is Gundam Barbados. And I have an image of that right here. It is a 2000 suit, and it looks pretty interesting, and I'm curious as to how it works, because we haven't really seen it in action in its TV show yet. But that gets me to my point about you're not definitely going to have it, because the only way to get this suit is to purchase the first print copies of the TV show's discs when it actually gets released. Apparently there will be a code in there, and then you can use that code in the PSN store, and you will be able to download this suit for Gundam Extreme vs. Force. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm excited that they're putting it in, but I'm not so sure they had to put it in this way, because most people won't be able to get it that way. And that makes me a little sad for people that can't get it. Me, I think I'm going to purchase the DVDs at some point, so I'm hoping that I'll buy them first print, so that I can end up getting this suit for myself as well. So overall, I think this game is looking pretty promising, and I think it offers a nice single-player experience, which is something we haven't really had in any Gundam Extreme vs. titles before. And I think that is something to admire, that they're finally stepping outside of their comfort zone and approaching a new demographic of people to sell their games to. And yeah, I think this is a nice one to pick up, and it gives you your Gundam on the go, so that's nice. And it's also gonna give you plenty of things to do while you're waiting for Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Boost to finally get ported to PS3 or PS4, because we don't even know when that's gonna happen. Could be in like 2 years, which would be ridiculous, or it could be in a few months. So we're not exactly sure, but I do know that I'm gonna have some fun with this myself. So feel free to like the video and leave your own comment in the description below. What do you think the game is going to be like? Do you think it's going to be trash? Do you think it's actually going to be pretty good like I do? And please avoid arguments though, because we don't want to see that. This is a community. It's not about fighting with each other. It's about expressing personal opinions in a peaceful way. So yeah, and also feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, or more videos on this title, because I'm sure I'll be posting some more, because I think this game looks pretty exciting, and I can't wait to get my hands on it myself. So, with all that said, this is Gundam HQ, signing off.